One of the toughest titles to target in HR is the director of HR. A lot of the companies that we speak with say that no matter what, they want to go at director level. But typically, director of HR is the most challenging, and here is why. You have no idea what they're doing is the biggest reason. Unless they call out on their LinkedIn profile exactly what their responsibilities are, the director of HR is just a very generic title that could mean they have a ton of power and budgets. They may focus in recruiting. They may focus in talent management. They may focus in training. It's a very generic title. And if they don't call it out on their LinkedIn, or you don't have a conversation with them or someone else in HR, it's impossible to know who you're targeting. So there are a couple times when targeting the director of HR is fine. And usually that's in smaller organizations. So in a smaller organization where, when I say small, that's probably more like under 1,000 employees. The director of HR is typically one of very few leaders on the HR team. Usually under 1,000 employees, you're not going to have 20 people in the HR function. You'll typically have a VP of HR or a head of HR, a few directors, and then maybe some managers or recruiters or kind of other levels on the recruiting side. And so me personally, I would much rather target a VP of HR's admin, have that conversation, and then figure out who exactly do we go after versus targeting the title of director of HR, unless they're just a small company. If they're small and they have under 5 people in HR, there really aren't many other places to go. So that director probably has some power and budget. But be really careful putting directors of HR into outreach campaigns, because you depending on what you sell, chances are you're only selling into one side of HR or into a niche of HR versus selling across, a bunch of different functions. Chances are that person that you're going to reach out to that's title is director of HR has nothing to do with the product or service that you're selling. So be really careful with directors of HR. I know everybody likes to target at the quote unquote director level, but most of the time you're going to be reaching out to people who don't cover what you do, aren't going to respond, aren't going to give you a referral, and will pretty much lead to either no response back on emails, or they may forward your email on if it's something that's very timely that they're aware of. But usually there are a lot of other places that I would recommend that you go before director level. Hope that helps.